That emotional connection may explain why discussions about a Balmoral cottage became so meaningful. Yet the situation became complicated after the Queen's passing. Because under royal inheritance rules, the Balmoral estate passed directly to King Charles III as part of his private property. Which means technically, any decision involving cottages or land must ultimately come from the king. But here's where royal insiders began whispering about something unusual. Several commentators suggested that Prince William had quietly encouraged maintaining Lady Louise's connection to the estate. Some believed he saw it as honoring the wishes of the late Queen. And strangely enough, throughout these reports, one key figure seemed absent from the discussion. The king's wife, Queen Camilla. Her name never appeared in the decision-making process. No confirmation she supported it. No indication she opposed it either. Just silence. And in the royal world, silence can sometimes mean more than words. But as whispers began spreading beyond palace walls, the media was about to take notice, and the story was about to explode. At first, the story about a small cottage on the Balmoral estate barely made a ripple. Royal properties change hands quietly all the time. Family arrangements are rarely announced publicly. And for a moment, it seemed like this would remain just another private royal detail. But then the media caught on. Within days, royal commentators began discussing the surprising connection between Lady Louise Windsor and a cottage inside the historic grounds of Balmoral Castle. Suddenly, what looked like a simple family gesture started raising bigger questions. Why Louise? Why now? And perhaps the biggest question of all, who actually made the decision? The British press has always had a complicated relationship with the monarchy. For centuries, royal families relied on newspapers to shape public perception. But the modern media landscape is very different. Today, every royal move is analyzed by television networks, online commentators, and millions of viewers on social media. And when reporters noticed one detail missing from the Balmoral story, speculation began to grow rapidly. That detail was the absence of Queen Camilla. In many reports discussing the cottage arrangement, her name simply didn't appear. No mention of her involvement. No quote from palace officials suggesting she had participated in the decision. For a woman who now holds the title of Queen Consort beside King Charles III, that silence was unusual. But this isn't the first time the royal family has faced intense media scrutiny over internal decisions. In fact, historians often point back to the 1990s as the moment when royal press coverage changed forever. During the breakdown of the marriage between Princess Diana and then Prince Charles, the media followed every detail with relentless attention. Here's a shocking fact many younger viewers don't realize. During that time, secret phone recordings, private letters, and even personal conversations became front-page news. It was one of the most invasive periods the royal family had ever experienced. The result? A permanent shift in how the monarchy interacts with the press. Ever since then, palace communications teams have tried to control royal narratives carefully. Official statements are measured. Details are often limited. And sometimes, silence becomes the chosen strategy. That appears to be exactly what happened with the Balmoral cottage story. Despite growing interest from journalists, the palace never released a detailed explanation about the arrangement. No official confirmation. No denial either. Just quiet. And of course, when the palace says nothing, the media fills in the gaps.